How anger and grief can impact your health. Have you ever noticed how the body reacts when you are angry? The reaction would be that the body heats up, and then there are times when your hands and body shake, and you have this uncontrollable urge to do something physical. What about when you experience grief? And what about when have that feeling of loss and despair? How does your body react? What is the effect in the system? These are some points to consider when you are dealing with anger and grief, and how does it impact you overall health, mentally and physically. What is anger? Anger is an emotion that is tied up with strong uncomfortable responses due to a provocation. It is the psychological interpretation of the system when it is offended, denied or wronged. External expressions of anger would be change in facial expression or body language, and some cases, acts of aggression. What is grief? Grief is the response of the system to loss. To be particular, this is the loss of someone who is important to a person. Though primarily focused on the emotional response of the body, there are also reactions from the physical, behavioral, social, cognitive and philosophical aspects of the system. External expressions of grief would be crying, hysteria and in severe cases would be loss of consciousness. Reaction to anger and grief. Anger and grief are powerful emotions. When a person is angry, the physical reactions would be that of an increased heart rate, surges in the levels of adrenaline, and an increase in blood pressure. Anger is a predominant feeling when it comes to the cognitive, behavioral and psychological makeup of a person. As for grief, pertaining to loss, the reaction of the body is shock. Both of these intense emotions play a great havoc in the system. These are manifested in the biological, emotional and mental reactions of the body, which releases something that affects the physiological and neurological processes. Anger and grief, the impact. When a person experiences grief or anger, the impact that it brings to the system is really big. Since these are strong emotions, the effects that they have are also powerful. When a person experiences grief and feelings of loss, depression is really just around the corner. Then there is the have loss of appetite, which leads to drastic weight loss, hair loss, dry skin, digestive problems, mental anguish, lack of concentration and more. For anger, there are effects like high blood pressure, which may lead to heart attack and damages to the arteries because of the increased heart rate that a person experiences. When you really look at it, anger and grief, along with other emotions, play an important part in a person's well-being. Unless properly addressed, these feelings of anger and grief will control and may destroy a person mentally as well as physically. The overall impact cannot be really gauged because the tolerance of the body for these types of emotions varies from person to person. Self-help for anger and grief. In relieving your mind and body with the stress of anger and grief, you need to look for outlets as a way of self-help. Just like with any problem, you need to deal with the issues that you have. For anger, since this aggression, you can divert it. You can channel your energy and burn out your anger through exercise. For some people, they opt to divert their attention and anger to doing something that is productive or something that will calm them. There are many productive ways where you can help yourself in handling your aggression. You do not need to become violent and abusive, instead you can make it productive. Help yourself get over it. For grief and loss, understand that you need to go through the process. You need to go through shock and denial, then you have intense concern, where you are not able to think of anything else, then you have despair and depression, and then at last to recovery. For the first 3 stages, you need to make that conscious effort to pull yourself together and go through that stage. While going through these phases, you can enlist the help of someone that is close to you to watch over you so that you do not go over the deep end. Remember that even in the midst of pain and loss, you can still make a conscious effort that you will not be in one stage of the process and get stuck there. Self-help. There are many self-help books and stress management out there telling people of what they can do and how they can do it when it comes to overcoming grief and anger. The real secret behind these books is the word self-help. You need to help yourself in order to recover. Just like a wound, you cannot just leave it alone and not clean it. If you do not clean your wound, it would fester and it would cause you more harm and more damage. You do not really want that to happen, do you? When you are through anger and grief, always remember that the only person that could help you is you. Sure, there are people that you can go to in seeking help, like shrinks and doctors to help you medically, or you go spiritual counselors who will give you advice and counseling. But at the end of the day, all you need is you. The struggle and the battle will always begin and end within you. Since you have the power to overcome these emotions, pull yourself together, reflect on the situation and decide to get out of the clutches of these damaging emotions. Remember that if you do not deal with your anger or your grief, you are not just hurting the people around you, you are harming yourself. You are damaging your system by being stuck with anger and rage, or you are destroying your system by being depressed with grief and loss. Thanks for watching our video. Make sure you subscribe to receive more video related to stress management, and many other everyday health and wellness. Don't forget to leave a comment, hit the like button, and share our video. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, and stay healthy.